Local diving coach helped save the life of a competitor who nearly drowned in Holland last week. Minutes later, it was the coach who needed saving.
New at 6 o'clock, 24-hour News 8's Joe LaFurgey talked to the lifesaver who had to be rescued. Joe?
Yeah, Kurt Miranda has coached the Northview dive team for several years now. He's convinced he was there's a reason beyond coaching that put he, and for that matter others, on that pool deck Friday afternoon. It was the diving portion of qualifying rounds for the State Division II swim meet on Saturday. Northview High senior Austin Miranda, the coach's son, was getting set for one of his dives.
And he says, "Dad, there's a guy in the bottom. He's not coming up."
Kurt Miranda was one of several people who went into life-saving mode. One group pulled the victim up from the bottom, while others, including Miranda, waited by the side of the pool.
There was a guy next to me. We both pulled him out. I was doing mouth-to-mouth while he was in the water. Because he was blue.
Someone else brought in an AED. The shock brought the victim back to life. Kurt Miranda was, in a word, drained after all of that. But after a while, something told him it was not just an adrenaline rush. An EMT who had responded to the first emergency noticed it too.
Yeah, he says, "Are you having chest pain?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah." And he says, "Well, let's check you out." And then he put some electrodes on me and did a quick thing. "Yeah, you're having an arterial wall, or anterior wall heart attack."
They got Miranda to the ER at Holland Hospital, which fortunately is located just across the parking lot from the aquatic center. It was in the ER that the scare turned to crisis.
All of a sudden, everything kind of fuzzed out. And the next thing they said and then I saw him again, they said, "You still with us?" I'm like, "Yeah, I never left."
Miranda's heart had stopped. A shock from a defibrillator brought him back. 4 days and 2 stents later, Miranda is home and on the road to recovery. The diver he helped save, 16-year-old Nolan Guttenschwager of Wyandotte near Detroit, remains in fair condition at Helen DeVos Children's Hospital. Miranda is convinced the response on Friday, the fact that everyone who had a hand in saving Nolan's life and his own were all in the right place at the right time, was no accident. It all goes back to the walk Miranda took before Friday's meet began.
I walked around the pool just asking God's presence to be there and to keep everybody safe. It's incredible how God puts people together.
Now, the story continues. Despite the fact his dad had just left on a stretcher, Austin Miranda made his dive, the one that he started to make before he found that young man at the bottom of the pool. He said he knew his dad would want him to do it. He did well enough to make the state finals.
Well, that's poise right there. I mean, that's one of those stories, like everything that could have gone right did.
Yes, and everything just fell into place. And he says it was all in God's hands at that point, that he's the one that put everybody there. So a lot of spiritual thought there as well.
It's hard to argue
when he
against
said
it, that's
that.
for sure.
Joe, thank you.